Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, well, we delayed the show because there was a live letter, and we do indeed have the next 2 weeks worth of shows planned out exactly as I predicted them. We're going to talk about the trailer, we're going to talk about the live letter, and give our thoughts on some of the things that we heard and saw. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Mischief, Pope Romo, of course, joining me, Sly I, Slyakagreyfox, my boy Blue. I'm tired, so I'm trying to say things fast to stay awake.
I'm tired too.
Hi, tired. I'm happy. Nice to meet you.
It's gonna be a great show, folks.
It's one of those shows, like, this is my I've been up since 2 a.m. here. That's what this is right now. I literally couldn't be asked to do anything different with myself after a long day. Like that's where I'm at right now, pretty much. How are you doing, Sly?
Besides being tired, I'm doing good.
Good. That's good.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of hype about this, I give it a solid 7.5. Right?
Not a 7.3? It's been a while.
Great show today. Gonna be a great show, man.
It's been a while. Come on. It's been a while. Come on, give me that. Please? No? Okay.
No, I can't give you that. Right. Sorry.
It was like an 8.3. So again, it's gonna come down to, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. Again, they just like with 4.1, they made the trailer for this a little more cinematic. So it doesn't have like, hey, this is this piece of content, and this is this piece of content, and
new recipes. Yeah.
New recipes. Yeah, no, all that's gone. Like you can see it if you look through, but it's made to be more of something that's digestible, and maybe you could get excited for without needing to care that this is the new glamour feature, and this is the new this, and this is the new that. And therefore, it's only about a 4-minute trailer. We're gonna watch it here in a minute, but I guess I guess your 7.5 was probably more so for the whole live letter and less so just for the trailer. What about just the trailer?
Just the trailer? I'd actually give it a solid 9. Really,
yeah, that was a pretty boss trailer, especially when we got when a certain somebody revealed he was going to be quite buff, quite buff.
Gains.
Yo, no. That's we'll talk about gains a little bit, and we'll get some Sly gains in the chat for that one right there. So, what do you say we just shut up and watch the trailer?
Yes, we shall.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, enjoy.
It's so pretty. Who are you? Who are you?
I am Asahi Sus Brutus, Ambassador Plenipotentiary of Garlem. Gosetsu is a dear friend. Our course is clear. Are you all right? Icons are a blight upon this stone. In his wisdom, Emperor Varus wishes to explore the possibility of an alliance to combat this common threat.
Receive of me my fury, children of man, and quell it! There is no turning back!
While I dare not give myself wholly to hope, I will not deny that I have prayed for such a miracle ever since that fateful day. I am bound by duty to ascertain the truth of the matter.
Did Gorsetsu not seem strange to you?
Come. No, I don't want to.
When the hour arrives, we shall welcome what comes with open arms.
You speak of sins, my lord. But at whose feet do those sins lie?
Alrighty then, we are unmuted. You got a smile on your face. You got a smile on your face. Sly. How you doing?
First off, not was what I was expecting or wanting, but I'm not unhappy.
Good, because that would be totally the opposite of me.
Still going, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. That's just what I do.
Yeah, but I'm content. I'm definitely content where they're going for Sigmascape. I'll have to hold off another tier, or maybe we can get it.
Don't say it.
Maybe I get it.
Don't say it.
What, Ultimecia?
Oh, you ain't getting that shit. No. You fucking crazy.
You think
shit.
we like? Think about like how many patches are we getting? How many like straight up numbered patches are we getting?
So that's actually a big portion of debate with people talking about Sigmascape, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But it was said that they're not ruling out the possibility of a 4.6 or a 4.7.
4.7.
However, after seeing that the fan festival is in November, if it had been in like January for North America, I would have maybe thought that, but And also,
so you're ruling that out?
I'm ruling out any final bosses from any Final Fantasy being the last boss of the next tier entirely. I'd imagine Omega at some point is like, all right, well, you've become the Ultimate Warrior. Now we fight. That's his whole thing. What's he gonna put you up against the Ultimate Warrior? You win, and then he's just gonna be like, cool, see ya.
I think that's how they actually might end it. In all honesty,
remember when I thought that about Bahamut? I said, no, there's no way we fight him. There's no way. Look how big he is. Look how strong he is. Like, it's impossible. And then they just Bahamut Prime. What can I say?
Yep.
Just give Omega. We already know Omega has a condensed form. It's just we're kind of in his cheaty place right now. He kind of makes the rules, and it's not fair. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So since we're done with the trailer, I just want to point out, because it's something that's only going to come up once during all of our talks here. The live letter for Eureka is on February 10th. We knew that. We knew this was not the live letter for Eureka. All right? We'd like to point out, though, it's in the 4.2 trailer, Sly.
just because it's in the trailer.
Sly, they've never put something in the trailer and then not put it in the patches. Minus, like, I think there's been, like, mechanics. I think they used, like, the pre-nerfed St. Mocion's Arboretum last boss. I think they, like, showed, like, mechanics that, like, ended up not being there at all in the final version, if I remember correctly. But that's, like, it. That's it.
But we're talking about a dungeon. We're talking a dungeon compared to a full
a
set
thing that
content.
they've been working on for far longer than they ever work on a dungeon. Yeah.
and then again, we talked about this in pre-show. The only reason why they would consider delaying it would be for, you know, actually being able to lose level, which is in a bit of contention with the community.
And we'll get to that. Please don't.
Please don't. Please don't.
Please don't what?
No.
Please don't what, Sly?
No. Please
Sly,
don't.
what don't you want them to do?
Just don't do it.
What's wrong?
That's all I'm saying.
Don't. What's the problem, Sly?
You want to lose level?
It's not a real level, Sly.
No, but I'm just saying. Within Eureka,
you want to lose level? If it's in Eureka and it's built around it, I don't care. It's as long as I don't go back to level 69, giggity.
Okay, we know that's not gonna happen.
Exactly. So I don't care.
No, but in terms of progress and everything within Eureka, I actually don't. You know,
fine. I don't.
It's
care.
not fine. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Sure.
As long as I'd rather lose level than DKP. After looking at the chat, definitely don't want to lose DKP. Dragon Killer points are worth a lot nowadays. So
DKP minus.
Yeah. So we're going to be going through the official notes and throwing in details from the unofficial translation. Once again, the Reddit Discord held an unofficial translation. Thanks to Iluna for rushing home from work and almost probably killing somebody to get there on time. We were like, oh, they might be like 10, 15 minutes late, and they made it like with like 6 minutes to spare. Which they technically, as far as I consider, they start with the trailer, so you have an extra few minutes there at the beginning. And then, of course, Hezkezel, who I accidentally called Hezekiel earlier, for the images that he was posting on the Reddit Discord. If you want to see all those, Iluna probably went through them and fixed them up by now. If not, still, there's a bunch of unofficial stuff there and additional details from what we actually see here in the official translation. So, Sly, biggest surprise is this first detail right here at the release date. Nobody saw this coming.
No.
Nobody.
No.
Not a single person was like, that's the day it's going to come out, Sly. What day is it?
Everybody got it wrong. January 30th.
Holy shit. I don't think anyone could have predicted that, Sly. Except everyone.
Yeah,
us.
pretty much.
And every other podcast.
Everybody.
And everyone in the chat. And everyone. Dude, people who don't even play 14 knew it was coming at this point with how predictable it was. As far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So, Sly, I'm gonna ask you something real quick. What
Okay.
Monster Hunter World comes out 4 days prior. What's your plan? What's your plan?
Well, like they were saying, like pretty much some people were saying in chat, all right, you got 4 days to play Monster Hunter World before you get to 4.2.
Let's be honest, you have 4 days to play Monster Hunter World. We'll beat Sigmascape Savage in a day or two, and then we're back to it, you know?
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, Dissidia is fucked. I'm not playing Dissidia until like mid-February. No way am I playing Dissidia in like the first 2 weeks. No fucking chance.
And the funny thing about this, Yoshida actually mentions it. Like he's like, yeah, we know it's kind of close to Monster Hunter World. We respect them. We know it's going to be a good game, but you can play both.
Yeah, they're like, it's put out by a great company from here in Japan, so we want you to enjoy both. You know what? I would love to enjoy both too, not fucking 4 days apart. Damn it. Damn it. Now, Sly, I'm going to present you with some other information regarding that release date.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what comes out 2 days later?
12?
Final Fantasy 12 on PC. Zodiac Age. Sly, there's another game release, though. That's nowhere near January 30th. So we should be in the clear on this one, right? Final Fantasy XV's PC version with the Royal Pack or the Royal Edition for consoles is out on March 6th. We're in the clear on that one, right?
Right.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
So, but wait, when does Eureka come out? What's like the average amount of weeks between a major patch and the 0.5 patch?
You want me to say 5 weeks, but I still don't believe this shit. So, I mean, you're on your own on this
Eureka is your Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point.
It is, basically.
It's your Kingdom Hearts. It's your Kingdom Hearts 3.
Shit ain't coming out.
So 5 weeks is the average for that. So let's see. January 30th is, let's actually, January 30th is like, this is here. Because this is the first week. All right. So then you have what? February 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th. And what's that? March 6th!
See, Happy's all mad and shit about this. I'm fine. Because I still don't believe it. But, okay. Let's just say March 6th.
Can we just, have Square Enix just, at least have one guy who tells the other guy that they're releasing some shit around that time? Just be offset it by, a couple of days or something.
Square Enix wants you to play all the things. Hi.
Great. I want to play all the things, too. Put them on different days. How about that?
Yeah.
So, the next thing is that the maintenance will be 24 hours. 2 a.m. to 2 a.m. So, hope you weren't planning on playing any 14 that day. On the Monday. Because it won't be there. Just read patch notes over and over again.
Hey, Monster Hunter!
Hey, I agree with you. All right. They will wait for the maintenance details. They'll probably be out, early next week or something like that. But we already know it'll start Monday, January 29th at 2 a.m. And the servers will be up Tuesday, January 30th at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, please look forward to it. Official release date. Absolute shocker. And please wait. Now, next we have what was actually my favorite part of the trailer. Why is that funny?
The voice break?
I want to make that a sound. I just need that sound clip without any music in the background. It was like something, my fury, children of man, and quell it! Except he voice breaks, but I can't. And quell it! he goes insane with the yelling. Oh man. Oh man. Just remember to quell it, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So Jade Stoa, we got to see a little bit more of the White Tiger that I was not entirely interested in prior to this trailer. The Jade Stoa, we had the normal mode, we had the extreme mode. And as for what the extreme mode's gonna do, again, no surprises. Weapon, mount.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, what did you think of the new doggo?
That's the best looking one. That's the best looking cat doggo. It is a cat. Literally, it's like a tiger design on a dog. It's a cat doggo. Cat doggo. Cat doggo.
Knew he was going there.
Be alone in the world with a little cat doggo. There you go. And on top of that, they made specific mention that it will be harder than Susanoo and Lakshmi, specifically because they adjusted it based on the average player's skill going up. I agree. Sort of.
Do you really?
Sort
I was about to ask you, do you really?
Keep in mind that averages are subject to things called outliers. And I think they included some when calculating this one. Let's just say this. Your party finders that are random are not going to be better. That I will 100% confirm. But the groups that are organized are going to have a fine time. Yeah.
AKA statics.
Yeah, or just friends. Just friends. sometimes friends they just raid. Sometimes they just do stuff together. They don't. It's on statics. They're in different statics. Stuff like that. Shinryu he wouldn't comment on. He was like, some mechanics in Shinryu are like really easy, and some of them are like really annoying. He specifically mentioned the icicles in the back being something that like more players struggled with than they anticipated.
Because people constantly forget them.
Yeah, they're just like, guys, icicles behind you. Whoa! And then you're dead, pretty much.
Yep.
And that's it. What do you think? What do you think about them bringing Byakko at least up a little bit? It's not much. This sounds like Sophia. Like I'd imagine, I'd probably put it Sophia-ish, which is seems fine to me.
Yeah, it seems fair. Logically speaking, the difficulty had to go up. From a Shinryu standpoint, like you said, a lot of random bugs are gonna have a tough time. But like with a day one patch like this, I think give it about 3 days to really settle down and everybody gets clears, and then of course, give it the second day before you get the please watch a video. Please watch Mr. Happy Guy.
You're giving it 2 whole days. That's gonna happen in 2 whole fucking hours, Sly.
But who in their right mind would have the fucking video out on the first day? Wait, never mind. I answered my own question.
I won't. I'll be in Savage all day.
You sure about that?
I'll be in Savage.
You sure about that? Oh yeah, that's right. You're gonna be in Savage.
I'll be
in London. Yeah. So yeah, second day would be London. Yeah.
I mean, I might deviate like from Savage maybe to do a kill and then a kill video, but not a guide per se. Guide will probably be like a week out.
That'll count towards the video. Like they won't even say watch a guide. They'll just say watch this video. Yeah. That's our community for you.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry, guys. People blame me. They're like, how dare you put a video out like 3 days after? And I was like,
hey, at least it brought a shirt out of the situation. I watched the Mr. Happy Guide.
Yeah. I need to make that a shirt. I really do. Like I got a gift as one at FanFest that said it's my first time, but I watched the Mr. Happy Guide. Shout out to Rosu. It's like the problem is it's like a medium, and at the very best, I'm a medium well looking at me. So it doesn't exactly fit, but I love the shirt. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's sorry in advance. They also commented to remind everyone that you don't need to beat Sigmascape Savage to get into... I'm sorry, you don't need to beat Deltascape Savage to get into Sigmascape Savage.
All you have to do is beat Deltascape Normal, beat Sigmascape Normal, and then you can do Savage.
Yeah, it was the same as Alexander, but it's just a reminder because some people, Stormblood's the first time they're playing the game. They weren't around for all that, so it's understandable that not everyone would know that. On top of that, they handle launches differently. Expansion launch, we had 2-week delay. Here, there's no 2-week delay. Savage and Normal are out on the same day. And that was the same for 3.2 and 3.4 for Alexander. It'll probably be the same for 4.4 as well for this going forward. So just retain that. And then later you'll be like, oh, watch, it's going to be exactly like I predicted. And you'll be right. And then you can have Jesus all over the place. Now, they showed off that mount, but they showed off another mount too. The Deathclaw.
Yeah.
Now, as a Lalafell who just got my Corpicur, I'm both excited and sad because that means that I have to rotate between the two of them. But I'm more excited that this is the first thing they're adding to achievement points since implementing the previous system that replaced the veteran system with achievement points. So, do you think that's a good sign going forward? That instead of because this could have been in a dungeon, this could have been thrown on the cash shop. It's a fun little mount they could have done a number of things with, but they threw it into a system that is new and untested, and they don't really know the popularity of it because there's not enough to gauge yet.
It's a good way to test it, I feel like. So yeah, I'm all for it. Like it's a sign of things to come. Now, whether or not it'll be good, who's to say now? But I'm for it. I'm for them, kind of testing the waters with this, with them implementing the system.
How do you think it's going to look holding up a Roganin? Do you think the Roganin's going to be on the back, or do you actually think the claws?
Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I think it might be like it might differ Like, imagine a claw trying to hold up a Roganin like that. No, he's.
I'd imagine he'd have to fly like this, because there's no way.
It's kind of like one of those editions where like you have your minions and you're a Lalafell, and you have certain minions who will sit on top of the Lalafell's head, and not like a normal hero or any normal size race. I think it'll differ between the races.
I'd like to imagine that it's the same exact thing. It holds the Roganin, but it struggles more. It's like... Oh, man. Hey, at least that thing's metal as fuck, because it's like this when it's holding the Lalafell. That's all I gotta say. Get some metal emotes in the chat, please, for Xeno. So... That's what we have that. They also said they're going to be doing a pretty big overhaul of the achievement system going forward. That's not in the official notes. It's in the unofficial notes. New achievements, the way that achievements work in general, and the way this achievement point system works. They're all going to be seeing adjustments sometime after 4.2. Are there any fun achievements that you think they might actually get right? Or are we just still looking at tons of grind emotes?
Grind. No fun dungeon achievements like we were thinking of, like we been talking about for quite some time, even though I really wish they would go ahead and implement those, like do something completely different in the dungeon or within a raid, kind of like what we see in the FF logs we were talking about a few weeks ago. Okay. Well, so nothing like that. Okay. Not yet.
Yeah. I want them. I want fun achievements. I'm just not optimistic. Fights are just designed to be so tight, like in the way they're approached, that I don't feel like there's enough room for weird things like that, personally. Speed kills maybe, but even then the speed kills probably wouldn't be like putting you up against other people's times. It's more likely just clear it under this time, and people do that with item level anyway. So, in theory.
But do you think that would be easy to program into an achievement, something like forget what the name of the 01 is called in FF logs. What was it called?
Oh, I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, I know. Because we went over it last week. I don't know. I think the main problem they said they had was they didn't have a way of checking that you had fulfilled that specific
certain
of a
things.
Condition.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's the thing though. If this is their chance to implement a means of tracking something as specific as that, that's good because that leaves room for the future. That's something that I feel is worth developing because achievement hunting is something a lot of people do in just it's just a gaming thing. Like there are people who have hundreds of thousands of gamer score on Xbox. There's people that collect trophies on PS4. There's people still waiting for more trophies on PS4 for Final Fantasy 14, by the way. They've been waiting for years. Like, people just, it's nice to have a goal. And if you create these really, obscure goals, it's good to have the grindy ones, but also just having ones that are, really weird or specific in a way, then people will take, it's content to some people. And it's content that you don't actually have to develop. It's content you just have to label, hey, go try and do this. You know what I mean? And that's it. And it's just easy. It's not easy, but it's easier than making a bunch of stuff from scratch, at the very least. So fingers crossed that achievement thing ends up working out all the adjustments that it's going to be getting. But speaking of adjustments, Sly, job adjustments.
Yay.
So first.
Yeah, you want to run down the list of people who are jobs that aren't getting adjustments first?
Dragoon. Thank fucking Christ. If you got anything else, I was gonna.
You're gonna lose your shit.
I was gonna fly to North Carolina myself and just find you and blame you. Just not seeing any adjustments, which people were really upset about.
I don't know why.
And we have this conversation every week, Sly.
Yeah. I don't get it.
It is what it is, man. Samurai, people are also upset with seeing no adjustments.
That I do understand. That, yeah, it was kind of...
That I really understand, especially when we talk about one of the other ones here. What's another one? Bard, nothing. I think that's fair. I think Bard is actually perfect. Don't touch it. The only things you could do are make the songs affect themselves, and I don't think they need it. I think they just function so well as they are now. Red Mage, nothing. That I kind of get. Although I could understand why Red Mages in particular would have liked something. Just because as much as, that chain res thing's really cool, they're not really digging what they got anymore. Red Mages are kind of bored a little bit.
Yeah.
you know what the big thing for me with Red Mage is? I just realized I don't know where they take it in 5.0. I don't know how that job gets like adjustments or new abilities in 5.0. It just
overhaul.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I can see.
Something's going to change big time with that job in 5.0. I don't know. I feel it, but
I kind of feel the same way about Samurai in that regard.
I do too. I feel like both these jobs were like, they were just in just the right spot when the expansion launched. Like, they nailed it. But then you fucking Dragoons started complaining about shit y'all didn't need to complain about. You were fine after the first buff. Then y'all started.
I was fine after the first buff.
I
stopped complaining after that. I stopped complaining. I didn't ask for the rest of that shit. I accepted it, but I didn't, complain and, ask for it.
Black mages and summoners were complaining, and summoners had
Black mages had a good fucking reason, so you can't really be mad at that.
They didn't even give them that much. I mean, they gave them something big, but all they keep doing is number adjustments to Black Mage, and Black Mages aren't asking for number adjustments. Unless it's that they have, like, an insane amount of spell speed off the top, which I agree with. A potency drop and a spell speed increase, so their Fire 4s are the same as their global cooldown. 100% agree with that as a suggested change. Summoners, the one thing I understood is being punished on death. All the other shit, fuck it.
Yeah.
That's it. But y'all Dragoons got overbuffed to fuck. Alright? And it threw everything out of balance because now y'all are overfucked. Everyone's looking at Bard and Machinist and Dragoon again and looking at that holy trinity, and they're like, what's a caster? And then Summoner got changes, so they're good for everything now, and meanwhile, Red Mage, Monk are just like, hey, I buff physical damage, guys. Don't you want that? And they're just like, yeah. Hey, Ninja, what damage do you buff? All of it? Cool. Motherfuckers. When are they going to learn that specific damage types are just not what people look at? That's it. That's all there is to it. So those are the jobs that aren't getting adjustments.
Right.
Paladin. Damage output being adjusted.
It was a bit too high
it was insane. For what they were doing, the fact that they were also as high as they were, I agree, was ridiculous. And I don't think Paladins need that DPS to be valuable to the group. I think for speed kills, maybe this pulls them out. I mean, it does if their DPS is lower than Warrior and Dark Knight. But, like, Paladin's still insane. I can't imagine doing, like, Fresh Prog without Wings, without Divine Veil, without, abusing shit like Hollowed and Tempered Will and Cover. Like, I could just think of so many times where every kit, every tool in a Paladin's kit has just carried so hard.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Paladin is in the same realm as kind of like a Ninja in terms of DPS. Ninja is so ridiculous in what it brings to the table. It's kind of necessary in terms of things like, enmity and shit. Like, you want that. And I feel the same way with Paladin when it comes to, damage and then Wings and everything you just said. I feel a little bit naked in a run without a Paladin.
Oh yeah.
Every time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I am still concerned. We all know the hit hard mentality is a big one. Trust me, I'm a monk. I may hit hard, but you guys don't hit as hard with me, so Now, one thing that's interesting is in the actual job adjustment section, they've changed the translation here a bunch, like on the official one. When it first happened, it said specifically Shield Swipe and Holy Spirit were having their potencies brought down. It doesn't say that anymore. It then said it again, and it now doesn't say it again. So, I don't know. I'm just going to assume Shield Swipe and Holy Spirit are getting potency nerfs. That's it. That's all that is.
Yeah.
For Warrior and Dark Knight, DPS for both of them is going up. That's crazy. Dark Knight, I kind of understand. Warrior, I feel for me, it was more important the other changes they made, and less so that their DPS was going up. I don't know if they mean like the ceiling of their DPS is going up, or
overall
the expected DPS, like the devs expected, like average is going up. I think they mean the ceiling, personally. For warriors, they're giving them the Dragoon treatment. We're going to take some... So this will sound familiar. Remember a certain time where they're like, we're going to nerf heavy thrust. We're going to...
And then buff the combo.
Buff everything else.
Yeah.
Storm's Eye, nerf the effect. Increase the potency of everything else. If you haven't played Warrior in a while, Storm's Eye is no longer the slashing debuff. It's what used to be the old main buff. So, yeah. That's supposed to be to make it better for players that are less skilled, so they can like pull off higher numbers without actually like changing anything or punishing mistakes as much. They also, and I think the thing that they should have detailed more is the thing they didn't. Inner Release and Berserk. I don't know what they did with Berserk. I was fine with Berserk. Inner Release was where if you screwed up, you lost like hundreds upon hundreds of DPS. So that's the big one to watch when the patch notes actually come around.
You said Inner Release or Inner Beast?
Inner Release. Inner Beast is the no one's in fucking tank stance anymore. Who cares about Inner Beast?
Yeah, so I see the system changes on Berserk and Inner Beast.
It says refresh it. It might say Inner. It said Inner Beast on the official forums for a while. It says Inner Release now.
No, I'm looking at the Discord. Oh,
okay, yeah. So they might not have fixed everything. Yeah, Inner Release. I like how they talk about like some of those warrior changes. Like, yeah, they'll do this and that. We're not going to go too specific. Dark Knight, they said, increase their usability. Now, when the community hears that, the community goes, so from like a 0 to a 1? Or like, what do you mean by that? It's like, what do you think they mean by usability?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't know where they're going with this. Like, Dark Knights are easy right now. I don't get it.
So worth mentioning that in Japan, Inner Release is called Inner Beast. So hence the translation error.
Gotcha.
So for Dark Knight, there are 3 things that come to mind with usability. Dark Mind only works on magic damage currently, so its usability is limited. Passenger is very limited in terms of when it's best to use or when it's like okay to use. And Blackest Night is the other one, where it's not like you can't use it all the time. Like it's something that, you know, it's MP gated, provides blood. But I think in terms of how punishing it is to your offense to use, you're basically it's a lot to a lot of Dark Knights. Choosing to use Blackest Night is the equivalent of choosing to turn on or off grit. Like it's that kind of like, hey, I really don't want to give up that kind of resource. So TBN is another one that's like really high on my list for that. There's a few other things, but those are the 3 big ones that pop up. And I'm curious to see what it is. If it's more MP generation, if it's less MP cost. I think Dark Passenger, they could just do with a flat MP reduction in terms of how much it costs. For Mind, I don't know. Do you just make that all damage cooldown? Because they already have 2. And I don't know. That kind of seems kind of weird.
I don't see it as weird.
They'd be the only job to have 3, which would be something. Well, 3 with the roll action, because Rampart.
Yeah.
Which stands out-ish, you know. I don't think they take that approach, though. I don't believe they will. So
never say never.
Never say. All right, Beaver. He ruined that phrase for me. But anyway. Yeah, that's something we need the patch notes for. And luckily, we have an entire show for that next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we move on to range DPS.
Okay. Walk me through this one, please. Why was this necessary?
The potency of Hypercharge has been decreased. What?
Why was this like when you look at it at first, when I saw it in the Discord, about 1%.
So you don't know what's funny?
Why was this necessary?
Didn't they give Hypercharge 1% a while back, and everyone laughed?
And they're taking it away.
And now they're taking it away again. I'm pretty sure that's the story here.
I don't get it.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a meme in League of Legends I haven't heard in years, called 5AD. Okay. Or 5 armor. It's like one of the two. 5. There's so many like where it's like so like it looks so inconsequential, but the number just so functionally adds up that it makes sense. Yeah. So Hypercharge was 6%, now 5%. Went from 5 to 8, now it's 7. As far as I'm considered, started from the bottom, now we're here. Because I don't fucking know. There's just so many small numbers going around here at this point. Yeah.
I mean, the type of thing isn't going to make or break the job.
I mean, it's 1% adds up. You got to understand. It looks like
adds
1%,
up, but it's not that deep. It's really not that deep.
It's not, which is why people shouldn't look at that and go, "What the fuck?" It's like, well, you had the 1% before, and
I'm going, "What the fuck?" Because, exactly. That's why I'm going, "What the fuck?" Like I feel like it was an unnecessary change. Machinist should have been one of those jobs listed that had no changes. It should have been amongst one of those jobs.
So I don't know, because I don't like the way Machinist plays, but I kind of like the strength level it's at right now.
Yeah.
That being said, for being a ranged physical DPS, it is Hypercharge itself is ridiculous.
It is.
Like, I think that's the point, is that Hypercharge was ridiculous. Machinist, in a nutshell, everything looks nice and neat and tidy, but Hypercharge, nuts.
I still think it was in a good place, though.
I think that to make people
with that ridiculous damage of Hypercharge, I think it was in a good
place. I think that, considering how fucking awful I think it feels to play Machinist, I think they deserved it, the 1%. But I get it. Like, it seems super meaningless, but it's not. Hypercharge is a massive amount of contribution, and shedding a percent off of it is just that little fine tuning that they need to do just to get it into what they consider the bard spot. Because Machinist, I would say, outside of, Hypercharge, I value more than like the bard, the 2% bard song all the time, or battle voice, or troubadour or stuff. Like, Hypercharge is just so much, and it's reliable no matter whether or not I crit. That's why you take the bard and the Machinist together, because you throw them both together and it's insane. I think this just brings it right back down to just right where Bard is sitting, or right near it, without pushing it just a little too far this way.
But wasn't that the problem originally? When they were at that level, they really weren't at that level. Like, Bard was a little bit over Machinist.
That was in Heaven's Word, it was fucking stupid. Yeah. Bard was they were just stupid, period. Like, that was just insane. But I like where it is now. I like it. I like it. I like it after the 1%. I liked it before the 1%. And there's also the thing that's not mentioned here, is that they said Machinists would get potency buffs to compensate. It's not mentioned here, but it's mentioned in the unofficial.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's a good trade. Like, yes, and we didn't go over that, but yeah, that's a good trade. Still unnecessary, but good trade. So it just makes it even stronger.
It almost sounds
like it.
It almost sounds to me like another one of the Dragoon style changes, where Hypercharge, technically Hotshot would be the way to make that same change, but they want Machinists that, like, I don't know, maybe aren't as smart about it to at least have like a little bit of personal output that's higher and stuff like that. So, then we get Black Mage. Sorry? So,
can you really say sorry? I mean, it's not a complete.
I'll say this.
It's not a complete loss.
It's not a loss at all.
It's a small win. Yeah, it's a small game.
It's gains, man. It's gains. There you go.
Gains.
Potency of Fire 4 will be increased. First of all, you're already blowing suns up in people's faces.
Yeah.
Now those suns are stronger. What can you really say? The proctoration of Thundercloud and Fire 3 will be extended. Now, from what we understand, they're each being extended by 6 seconds. By 6 seconds. Meaning that they now intend you to use these strictly for movement. If you need to move in the next 16 seconds and you have a proc, they want you considering saving that proc if you were going to use it otherwise. Or, I mean, let's be honest, like, Black Mages use Sharpcast Fire to get a Fire 3 for a certain part of their rotation. And then there's options to use Thundercloud, like, depending on the fight. But a lot of Black Mages, they don't see, it's not like 2.0. They don't see insane number of procs anymore. And even when they do, they can't spam Thundercloud procs like they used to be able to. So I guess it kind of makes sense to hold it for that. I still am a fan of a really old suggestion of making it so when you get Thundercloud and you cast the Thunder under Thundercloud, it extends Astral Fire or Umbral Ice by 3 seconds. Or by the cast time, I guess, or the recast time of the GCD. That way you're not punished for trying to squeeze in a proc. As long as it's a DPS increase or something like that, you know?
Right.
And then you have the recast time of Ethereal Manipulation being decreased to 10.
To 10 seconds.
Yes, not by 10 seconds, to 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
That's a lot of teleporting. Black Mage is the teleport mage now.
I mean, does this really enhance the mobility?
So it does. It does. Also, the recast time for Transpose has been decreased.
To 8 seconds.
Yeah, to 8 seconds. I don't think Black Mages wanted any of this.
No.
No, except for Fire 4. Fire 4 and Ethereal Manipulation they definitely wanted, but this isn't what it sounded like it was the solution for.
Abby, what was the major issue for Black?
They didn't do anything.
If
I mean, that's what Black Mages tell me. They're like, yeah, we kind of just don't do anything. Like, they'll be like, I love playing it, but fuck it, I'm going Summoner because they do things. So I'm just regurgitating.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in that regard.
They don't
but
do anything. What? Say it.
I just feel like there's a bigger issue than
and what is it, Sly?
Okay. No.
Say it. Say it. Because they're gonna have to say it again soon. It's the same thing that I'm about to bring up for a different job.
They don't really bring anything to the table.
They don't do anything? Pretty much. They don't bring anything to the table. They bring APOC. No, they don't. They used to. Now they do. Yeah. They still do, but no one cares because all the casters can bring APOC.
And see, like before I even said that, I'm like trying to think, like, well, no, yeah, they really don't bring anything to.
No.
Yeah, I was really racking my head and like, I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Sly, we're kind of overlooking the very important bind on freeze. They bring that.
Just go ahead and say they don't bring anything. Just go ahead and say it again.
They bring the slow on Blizzard 1.
Just say they don't bring anything.
They bring sleep. All right, yeah. See, everyone was just looking past that like it didn't exist. But being the mental genius that I am, I dissected their true intent.
So some
Blizz 1 doesn't even slow. Blizz 1 doesn't even slow anymore. Forgot they lost that.
So we can really say they don't bring anything. Okay. All right. So Summoner.
Oh, that's why Black Mage is not fucking useful, is because of that job. Summoner is ridiculous right now. They went from being like they went from everyone looking at them being, oh man, that's way too complicated to do that much damage, to, you know what, it might be complicated, but I'm gonna fucking learn it.
It's worth it.
I'm gonna fucking learn it. Hell yeah. They're getting their AoE potency brought down, and there was mention of Dreadworm Trance having its cooldown reduced, which isn't that big a deal because it's still gated by.
Yeah, quick side note. You said AoE being reduced.
So the Aquamore being increased thing is not there.
Yeah, single
I refuse to believe that's prop. Oh yeah, single target DPS will remain the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there was originally
might be buffed. Might be buffed.
No.
Look at the Discord.
I know what the Discord says. I'm telling you what Yoshida said.
Unofficial. But, I still believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. So potency of area effect attacks decreased.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Still gonna rock it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. People still gonna rock it because Black Mages the Samurai casters and Summoners the Ninja casters. Minus the Shade Walker. Like that's just how it is. That's just how it is, man. And we get to melee
so
DPS.
Happy. So happy. How you feeling?
So remember when I said they didn't adjust 3 of the melees and I left 1 out?
Yeah.
My good old buddy Monk.
Still gonna play that Ninja Happy?
I straight up told my group, listen, if we don't need enmity swaps, I'm going Monk. Like if there's a really good reason for me to have an enmity swap, then or enmity control of some kind, then I'll go. I'm getting practiced on Ninja. I've at least gone through most of Nail on Ninja at this point. Not as good as my Monk, not even remotely close to as good as my Monk, but still. Wind Tackle now applies Grease Lightning. That's the biggest one people have a lot of questions about. Because Wind Tackle currently is 2 tackles. So people want to know if it's the Riddle of Wind effect, which only procs once, if that gives you the stack, or if each of the tackles gives you a stack. I think it's 1 stack. I think no matter how they do this, it's 1 stack coming from the Wind Tackle. Which is still actually a huge deal. That's 1 OGCD that cuts 3 GCDs worth of work down outside of a perfect balance. So that's really good. Imagine just doing Wind Tackle Demolisher 2 stacks. That's it. That's great. That's fine. And then you're just immediately in fire. You just immediately go back to fire right after. Like if it was 2 stacks, it'd be busted. Like, I actually think Monk would be the most, OP melee outside of Trick Attack and Enmity reductions at that point. Like, in terms of personal outputs, that would be fucking stupid. If they do it, I'll love it, but...
And speaking of enmity reductions, did we talk about the change to diversion?
No, that's at the bottom of this thing that we're doing here.
Okay.
Brotherhood's effect now applies to the Monk as well.
Congratulations.
I didn't expect it. I don't think we were ever going to get it.
I thought you would get it. Not this soon, though. Like, I was thinking maybe somewhere after Sigmascape, but not this soon.
Man. We can generate so that means 50% on crit and 30% on weapon skill during Brotherhood for ourselves as well. On top of what I'd assume the 5% damage buff that it gives. I'd assume we got that. It says Brotherhood's effect, which is 5% damage and 30% chance to open a chakra per physical weapon skill. God damn.
You are sitting really pretty right now.
The next 2, recast time for Mantra. Now, Mantra has been a lot more valuable now than it was in the past. I remember when we would meme on Monk and be like, they bring Mantra for the damage you're not taking? Now it's like, yo, Almagest, hello?
No, I didn't see that many people memeing about it, but we had especially in A12, we had a healer who kind of depended on it, and she would just be passive aggressive, and whenever she didn't get it, she would say, I remember when I used to get Mantra.
You had almost like a Joker, like a Mark Hamill Joker going on there, but not really.
No, that's really.
Oh, I remember when I had Mantra. All right, so that's
passive aggressive as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I do it all the time. You should know that. Yeah. So Mantra is a lot more. It's valued a lot more now than it used to be. So that's good.
Definitely.
And Perfect Balance having its cooldown decreased, it opens up room for a lot of things. More burst windows is the first one. With Wind Tackle, it opens up the possibility of we need to do math on it. We need to see all the patch notes. It opens up the possibility of not opening with Perfect Balance when a boss comes back down. Or even if you do, using most of those GCDs on, or using more of them on True Strikes, for example. So overall, everything here is great. There's one problem.
Which is?
Sorry, Samurai. Monk was already near equal to Samurai before these changes.
Do you really classify that as a problem?
Yeah, because you know what Samurai's entire shtick is? I do lots of damage! Now, I, as a monk, should likely be classified as a higher average output than a samurai. That's a problem. And you know what?
I mean, we already knew this problem existed.
It didn't exist right when the patch came out. When 4.0 first launched, Samurai was in a reasonable spot.
Really
compared.
Reasonable. Really?
No, reasonable. Yeah, it was a few hundred above, considering things like Trick Attack Brotherhood. That was reasonable. Mm-hmm. That was more than serviceable. It made perfect sense. That was what they said they were going for. Then they were like, hey, Dragoons, fuck you, here, have everything. And then it started the train of everyone else wanting that shit.
Remember, a lot of that shit I didn't ask for.
But you're still playing it. So
I'm still playing it, but a lot of that shit I didn't ask for. Even though we got it, I'm happy. I know
you're happy. I trust me. I didn't expect you to be unhappy. Yeah. Samurai could use some love. That's it.
I was kind of disappointed that I was kind of disappointed that they didn't get that love. Especially after hearing about the monk changes. Like, for them to say Samurai's not getting anything and then to say the monk changes, I'm like, do you really want to walk back on this? I'm going to give you a chance to walk back. No.
Samurai.
Sorry.
Give them buffs. Either give them, but now with especially one of the things we're going to mention here in a few seconds, buffs. Fuck it.
How soon?
So the problem is, if you keep giving them buffs, you have to start scaling enemy HP a little bit more, because this is where our numbers are starting. All the other jobs numbers have gone up to the point where now increasing Samurai starts to get a bit iffy in terms of like the actual output by comparison. But I am still just in the belief that something Samurai needs an adjustment.
When do they get that adjustment?
Who fucking knows? Paladin waited a whole fucking expansion. Who knows how long Samurai will wait?
I say soon. I say really, really soon.
I'll cross my fingers for Samurai. They deserve it.
I'll even go further to say 4.25. This had they couldn't have overlooked. They could.
You can't say Samurai changes are coming at 4.25, but still throw Eureka out of the fucking goddamn mix. It took them a whole expansion to do Paladin changes. 2 years! And you think all of a sudden in 5 weeks there's gonna have this shit fixed?
Not fixed. A Band-Aid.
I'm done with you.
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about that, but not Eureka.
I'm done with you.
Which sounds so awful. I know.
I'm done with you. I'm just so done with you. There were no Samurai changes in the trailer, okay? All right. So, healers will have some adjustments to their usability. And specifically with Scholar, XCOG, if the effect doesn't trigger in the 45 seconds, it'll still blow up and heal you. So even if you misuse it, it still at least does something. Which is good. Nope, I have no problem. Cool.
Right.
Good. Now I get to be less scrub on Scholar. Pretty much. And then my winner. Diversion will be adjusted to further reduce enmity generation and have its duration increased. Sly, what do the numbers look like?
What's that?
Sly, what do the numbers look like?
I don't know what that is. Happy, I don't know what this is.
Sly, what do the numbers look like?
How can I know the numbers when I don't know what this does?
Diversion's being buffed from 50% to 90%. And from 15 seconds to 30 seconds. Which covers an entire potion in the opener. That
okay.
Monk Samurai enmity issues gone.
Okay.
Just gone entirely.
Yeah.
It's like enmity doesn't exist again for us, at the very least, for melees, for anyone who has diversion. Yeah, Sly. Yeah, oh, that's right. You don't need diversion because your DPS sucks. That's right. I forgot. I shouldn't have asked you for that.
Nice one.
Well, when you start the fight with elusive jump, it sure doesn't reduce your enmity then. Anyway.
No. It's just a gap closer. Come on. I'm not even trying to reduce any enmity. Plus, I'm giving the machinist the tether anyway, so it's not me.
What does that have anything to do with you not using diversion? What does any of that have anything to do with you not using diversion?
I'm not the one pulling aggro. It's the machinist.
Gee, I wonder why. Tell me, maybe your machinist also just not using his fucking tactician and refreshes though. So I don't know, because that also sounds like a different thing altogether. And that's it for job changes. So good luck, samurais. Good luck. And black mages, enjoy your changes. At least you got something. Black mage's getting out DPS samurai at this rate. Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying. The next little bit of information.
I was saying, do we want to bring the meme back of a chocobo could out DPS samurai? Because they could out heal a scholar back in the day.
Yo, my chocobo is fucking dude. I was doing some shit with him today. He crit for like 11k on a chocobo. I was like, damn.
Oof.
Damn.
Oof.
I was a white mage doing a hunt, and I would still let him do all the work on healing people. Like, Dala, you the man. Oh, man. All right, so...
Memes.
Moving on. Elemental properties. Removed from gear and materia.
Good.
Elemental materials, it says, will no longer be obtainable from quest rewards when converting gear to materia. Consumables that provide elemental modifiers will be changed and or no longer available. So it's another relic from 1.0. Another one bites the dust.
Do you think this came from the beginning of Ultimate, where people were like...
No, I think it came from 4 years of being a fucking waste of time, Sly. 4.5 years of being a fucking waste of time is where I think it came from.
Yeah, that too, but the rumor that people were using elemental materia to try to get through certain mechanics. I don't know if you remember that.
Trust me, I remember. Yeah. Another relic of 1.0 gone. But they're simplifying the stats. Alright, no, shut up. Anyway. But they're not gone all the way, Sly. Not all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as a reminder for gatherers, your conditions, those are being adjusted. Since there are no elemental properties, you can't have the bonuses. So, Eureka. We're planning to make use of elementals in Eureka Anemos coming in 4.25! Doesn't say aiming, doesn't say trying, it says coming! It's coming all over you, Sly! Like a Mara statue!
The fuck? Go ahead.
Alright, so in Eureka, there is a leveling system known as Elemental Level, and everyone levels this. It uses a unique system referred to as the Magia board, and players will place Magicite into the board to strengthen elemental properties. Players will adjust their offensive and defensive elemental properties against monsters. That is the most information we've seen about Eureka in fucking ever.
Ever.
We now have an idea of how the elemental system works, and that you are going to want to be balancing your elemental affinities when going up against certain enemies to make them easier or do more damage to them. So that is exactly how people want to see elemental properties used. It's just only in Eureka. And that's it. I'm excited. Experience points you gain, you'll keep them. It's like Palace of the Dead. When you leave and come back, they're still there for you. But when your elemental level is higher than 6, you may lose some experience points upon death.
I think this gets adjusted.
They actually said when they revealed that during a live letter that they may not do it.
Yeah. I think this gets removed completely.
I don't care whether or not it does. By the way, it
Mm-hmm.
specifically only cuts your EXP if you're not raised by the spell. If you're raised by the spell, you keep it. So that's another thing to keep. That way, it's not like if I die 10 times in a fight, I lose experience points 10 times in a fight. We also don't know what the max elemental levels are. We don't know if it's 9. We don't know if it's like 100. So we don't know what level 6 is comparatively to everything else. But it's being considered as a death penalty. I'm okay with keeping it, and if it doesn't work out, getting rid of it. That I'm okay with. Just to see.
I'd rather them scrap it. They got a month to see how this works, and if it seems iffy, I'd rather them scrap it before we complain about it and then having to get rid of it later.
Like even 11 really doesn't lose you much experience points nowadays. It's
Right.
like nothing, and you get like thousands upon thousands of experience points per kill. So even if you did die, it wouldn't matter. So the fact that it's a potential property here is a bit surprising when the old school MMO people would likely be referring to when in conjunction with that is 11 doesn't even use it that much anymore is a little weird. But I'm okay with the idea of letting it go out, and if people say, hey, we don't like it, get it out of there. That's a proper... Or, there's... Oh, actually, Sly had a way better idea than that, actually.
Okay.
What you can do, right, is there's these things that other games use called test realms, right? And it's where players have the ability to try something before it releases to the masses and provide feedback on it so it doesn't release in an embarrassing state. I don't know if we have the technology for it yet, but...
Have those things, that little bitty list of things that we're never getting, that we just keep adding on to? It's kind of on that list.
Man, I don't know. I think the only reason it's on that list is because the technology doesn't exist. That's what I think, at the very least. But what do I know? I just play games. I don't make them. So I don't know anything. But anyway, also it can be played with anywhere from 1 to 8 people. It is more designed for 4 to 8 people. But like Palace of the Dead, if you're feeling brave, you can solo it. By the way, Palace of the Dead was finally soloed completely to completion, floor 200 by a red mage in Japan. That red mage has also cleared ultimate, so he's a good guy. Or she is a wonderful woman. One of the two. Either or. Don't know anything about this person. So, not going to assume genders here, Sly. No way.
That'd be bad.
There you go. So, congratulations, person who soloed that. Just wanted to throw that out there as a little shout out. Okay. By the way, please note that these terms are subject to change. We'll cover more details on Eureka Animals in the next letter from the producer live. On February 10th. Because, and I quote, we're planning to make use of elementals in Eureka Animals coming in 4.25. Coming. Hey, thumbs up me all you want. Housing!
So, yeah, housing. Of course, we're getting the additional wards, 6 additional wards.
I believe it's like 1,600 houses total per server. Pretty good. A lot of houses. Is that all?
And they'll be added a week after 4.2. So 1 week later. So
it's good. So you don't have to compete with people logging in for like World First and shit. Okay.
Right.
Good.
Right.
What else?
The requirements. In order to allow free companies without housing to purchase a plot, we'll apply the following conditions. Plots designated for free company use will be limited to purchases by free companies with at least 4 members. You're required to have 4 members form a free company. So yeah, there you go. Okay.
It's the same thing.
Individuals, yeah, pretty much. Individuals will be restricted from purchasing plots for personal use for a limited time. You'll still be able to relocate. We'll be observing the situation and remove this restriction later. When new plots are added in the future, we'll apply the same measures.
So FCs have priority over individuals for an unspecified amount of time. And you can't make a 1-person FC. It has to have at least 4 people.
We've kind of spoken about this when housing has been mentioned. And in regards to the whole FC versus personal housing. Boy, how do you feel about them putting one over the other?
I think at this point, you might as well just admit you should have separated the two. That you fucked up. You fucked up. You put them both in the same wards. And this is, to me, this is living, breathing proof. That's it. That's all there is to it. And you know what? They're trying to add these restrictions onto these free companies that have 4 members. You know what? I know people that have alternate accounts. They don't just have alternate characters. They have alternate accounts, which will be a factor in the next change. I know people who make free companies with friends for the sake of leveling free companies and buying houses, and like this, it fixes some of it, but there are absolutely still people with means around a system like this. And you know what? To be fair, if you're going through that much effort to pay for a second fucking service account, you know what? I honestly, I can't fight you at that point. But, you know, it's something. It's still something. Will there be 1,600 free companies pop up before individuals get their go? On Balmung.
Just Balmung?
Just Balmung. I don't think Gilgamesh. I don't think Leviathan. I think just Balmung.
Fair point.
So, but otherwise, good thing. The big one for me is players will be permitted to only own one private and one free company estate per world.
Or world service account.
Per service account. So both. So if you have one service account and you have 8 different characters and 8 different servers, you can own 8 different houses. And you can own one private, one free company on those 8 different servers. But if you have if you just play on one server mostly and you want to have multiple houses in the future, then you won't be able to do that. There's one problem with this.
What's that?
It's not retroactive. If you already breach these conditions, there's no mention of any means of forcing a relinquishment of said owned places. So, for example, there's servers with an entire ward owned by one dude.
One person.
That dude is likely to still keep that ward. And on top of that, that guy I think that guy does have multiple accounts. Still.
Is his name Ash?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay. Just want to be sure.
Now, the other thing that's worth mentioning is that if you are in a free company on one character, but you do not own the free company estate, you're still flagged as unable to buy a free company estate on that server. So, for example, let's say I'm in Elysium, right? You're in Slythefox. Let's say you weren't the technical deed owner for the foxhole, right?
Okay.
So you're in the foxhole free company. You go, you know what? I'm gonna make a different free company on a different character on the server, and you know what? I want a house for that free company. You can't buy it. You can't be the deed owner. Somebody in your free company who isn't in an FC on another character on that server has to be the deed owner. It's same with personal housing. You can't own more than one house per server per account. If you have multiple accounts, they're not going to stop you. So simple as that. It's something. It will matter. There are ways to circumvent it, but it's a lot more effort now to do it, and money per month,
right?
And an initial purchase, and an expansion. So it's quite a hefty price for a fucking house.
Just like the real world.
Just like the real world on MTV. But anyway, they're going to do a special site that explains all of it. And you can also still own an apartment. It's not considered private estate, just to be 100% clear. The other thing is that none of those restrictions have anything to do with relocations, like you mentioned earlier. If you are an individual who has a house in, let's say, the Mists right now, 4.2 housing rolls up, and you want to relocate to Kurenai, that you are allowed to do. So you already own a house, you already paid the price, you're already integrated into the system, you're good to go. There you go. That's it. That's all it is. But then they also did one last thing that I thought was very devious of them. Plot resale. Ooh. If you relinquish a house, that house and the land it's on, I guess more specifically, will be unavailable for a period of time. Meaning, get fucked, sellers in the Party Finder. You can still sell to people relocating, because while it's not available for individual purchase, it is available for relocation. So you theoretically, they're not gone completely. They could still hold houses and specifically sell to people looking to relocate once wards are full, but they can't just sell a house.
Right.
So it's a little bit of something, but
so does this solve the slumlord problem?
It because it doesn't work retroactively. If you already breach any of these conditions, or at least they haven't said that they're doing anything to people that currently own housing and whatnot, that's still a problem. But it's something. It's better than nothing.
It's a move in the right direction. I'll agree there.
There is also the concern of doing the whole thing where the seller makes a free company, buys the house as a free company, then gives the free company to somebody else, makes them the deed owner, and then that. I think that would there's no mention on how that would function. Even if there's going to be a different way of doing that. So I think what they're going to do is if you try to pass deed ownership to somebody who already breaches the condition, it'll say no. But if you make the free company and leave people who are, I guess, offline or something, I don't know. I don't know exactly, but there still are stipulations there, because then how would it happens if the person who's offline, like the free company leader's offline for a period of time? Doesn't something happen? Or the house owner is offline? I feel like something happens, but it's been so long since I talked about it.
You're talking about like destruction of houses by people who are offline, or?
Well, I mean specifically, they're like if a free company leader hasn't been online in a really long time. I don't remember if they ever implemented the thing where
I thought as long as somebody from the free company enters the house is fine.
Yeah, I think so.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that, but can we get a minority report?
So if they're offline for 30 days, it transfers ownership to somebody else. So the person selling the house would, or the person who owns the free company would eventually be moved on. I wonder if they have something set in place for people looking to bypass this limitation like that, or if they are looking to something, because that is still a means of bypassing it. It's a means that's already used now. That already bypasses the system. So I don't know. I don't know what they have all the plans. There's still abuse cases. There's still ways people find around it, but it's something. It's better than nothing, but it's not the solution. I still think for company individual, not being separated, biggest problem. So fuck me in the beard. Anyway. So moving on. Sigmascape, we talked about this already. About what'll release. 01 Savage is the Phantom Train, 02 Savage is Chatternook, 03 Savage is the Guardian. These are all Final Fantasy VI bosses. And then if you really hadn't figured it out from watching a trailer earlier, Kefka Palazzo, final boss. Likely
Tower of the Gods.
The Tower of Gods. Or at least the top of the tower, which is Kefka is the god of magic.
Yeah.
I don't like this one bit.
Why?
So I expressed concerns back when X-Death was thrown into Deltascape. Basically, the entire plot of Omega is he takes a folk tale and makes it, I guess, not real, but he simulates it pretty much. And the simulation can fight. What?
Yeah. Virtual blood sport.
Yeah, it's a virtual blood sport pretty much. And with X-Death, I wasn't as with 01, 2, and 3, and with 0, 5, 6, and 7. I don't care. Those characters were inconsequential in their games. They were cool, but they were inconsequential. You know, they had backstories, but that could be explained in a paragraph, whatever. X-Dev bothered me a little bit because they so carefully crafted the Crystal Tower and its story around getting Zonde and the Cloud of Darkness, and other portions of the game are just everything that every other reference in Final Fantasy XIV is so carefully constructed to work. And this is literally all right, nostalgia, I heard that sells. Yeah? Let's just make an excuse. The story is he could do whatever the fuck he wants. Right? The story comes from Eorzea. But with X-Death, at least his Saturday morning cartoon, like, he's just like, I'm evil, I do evil things. Ah! That's it. That's X-Death in a nutshell.
Isn't that like every villain in a nutshell?
No, villains sometimes they have like righteous cause kind of thing. Like Gaius believed in that he was, yeah. What?
Golbez.
Well, Golbez, he's a different story altogether. He was possessed.
Yeah.
Kefka's a character that's supposed to have a story, a background, a dude who was driven insane by experiments and now is, a magical being who has no value of human life and all this other shit. And he does terrible, evil things. He absorbs, espers who are living beings from, he absorbs their power and leaves just nothing but a magicite behind. And he poisons the river of an entire city and murders all of its people. And he destroys the fucking world. Spoiler. He captures the warring tribe. Like, there's all these things. He's not a character that you want to sum up in this paragraph and say, yeah, by the way, fucking have fun, bitch. Which is what they're going to do to him.
Simply put, I just look at it as Omega throwing the kitchen sink at us. Like, in terms of legends. Like, in terms of legends.
Aggravates
it's picking, it's kind of cherry picking the devs, you could say, cherry picking the worst of the worst in terms of villains. And what I mean by worst is, actual, crazies. X-Death was a start. Kefka is definitely in that direction as well. Again, we can sit here and kind of rack our brains around who we think the others are going to be. But when I saw Kefka, it kind of like dashed my dreams of Ultimecia, because I don't think of Ultimecia as like
important,
crazy, yeah, or important specifically. It eliminated Seymour for me because
forgive me, pretty please.
So yeah, whenever it's like you say, it's a Saturday morning cartoon. You said X-Death is a Saturday morning cartoon. I think of Omega and a whole as a Saturday morning cartoon. They're just throwing you the baddest of the bad.
Well, send them to jail. They'll never escape.
Yeah. So it kind of I think this kind of narrows down the list of possible final encounters in the next.
You don't do final encounters in the next tier. Final encounter is Omega. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Omega's not going to be like, oh, you beat the strongest guy. His entire goal is to get the strongest possible being from this whole tournament deal he's got going and fight them. That is his whole purpose, is to fight them at the end.
So we don't get one more test before that, then?
We get 3 more. We get 3 bosses before him. But
no, I'm saying before that tier, we don't get one more test of another tier.
I don't believe we go to a 4.6. I think if the Fan Fest had maybe been in January, the NA one, yeah, 4.6, you can maybe throw that theory out there. 4.4, Omega's the last boss, and they're not going to put something like Sephiroth as the second to last boss, because why would you give him the shit treatment when you just gave Kefka and X-Death the god treatment? That's the thing. It has nothing to do with that they couldn't do it. They've clearly explained they hold every right to do whatever the fuck they want. That's been made incredibly clear. But if they do him as the second to last boss, people are going to fucking flip out that he's a little bitch. People won't be they'll be like, oh, Sephiroth, and then he's the third fight, and it's done in 4 hours. Come on.
Or
no, there's not.
No. We get more nostalgia within the actual Omega fight.
That's fine. I think it's totally possible.
Phase within.
I think that's totally possible. I think it's totally possible that he starts throwing just other final boss shit at us.
Yeah,
I'm totally accepting of that idea. But it's not
but you
that
just
boss.
You just don't want another as its own encounter, its own fight. You just don't want another.
I still don't like it just as an excuse to put them in the first fucking place, but because that's even worse. Imagine if just Sephiroth is just an ad in Omega. That doesn't sound much better.
Yeah. But it's possible. If we're going by what you're saying, and we don't get another tier, and Omega is the last thing, then that is like a really good possibility, and that is sad because people are asking for it.
Yeah,
we've been hit with nostalgia so much, and this is just even overhyping the cause. Like, if we don't get another tier with something like Sephiroth, and we get it in the actual Omega fight, it's just going to be sad.
It will. I agree. That's it. That's all it is. And you know what? Omega's not going to be the ultimate fight. Ultimate's only for fights that already exist. And I doubt they continue Omega past the 4.x series, because then people will be like, all right, come on now. Omega's not going to do this tournament arc shit, Dragon Ball's Super style, where it goes on for a fucking year and a half, is it?
Super got away with it.
Super's ending in 8 episodes, Sly. At least for a year. So, even that show has its limits. Sorry, if you didn't know, Super's ending in 8 episodes. 131 is the last one. But anyway. Sorry to ruin your day. At least they said that Phantom Train will be harder than Alt-Right. I'm glad they called that out.
I'll wait.
But they did say that it's still going to be it's going to be similar to Deltascape in difficulty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll wait.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Stop mentioning the ending. Listen! We just found out, like, today that the box set got changed to only go up to 131. Now I'm sad. Alright? I'm sad. It's been a great day, but I'm sad. Then we get some of the more, like, stuff that's kind of like it's for specific people. So we'll go through these a little quick.
Mm-hmm.
Perform action. They have 4 instruments now. Harp, grand piano, steel guitar, and a pizzicato.
Which one was I didn't like the sound of one of them. Something sounded like
those are being added. So
yeah.
None of those exist now.
Did he test one?
He tested like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah. And
one of them sounded like it was like MIDI.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think that might have been the piano. I don't remember which one. No, I think it was the harp. I think the harp was the one that didn't sound great. A volume setting specific to performance actions will be added. Currently, the volume of performance actions is adjusted altogether. Plan to make it so you can adjust the volume of you or the other player performances separately. So if you want to only hear your own performances and not hear all the shitty renditions of all the other shit you hear in Limsa Lominsa, you turn the shitty ones off. You're tired of hearing someone try to play Through the Fire and Flames on the fucking bullshit harp that they're pulling out here. Like, all right, calm down, dude. I also gave it its own UI. You can apply specific key bindings. So if you're really good at it, you're about to get even better. And I cannot wait to see Twitter that day. Remember the day that the perform action came out? How the ones we were watching on Twitter? Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
buddy. I like it. The fashion report. True endgame right here. It's a once-a-week challenge in the Gold Saucer where an NPC asks you to bring him a very specific look. And if you master it, you get some MGP. 10k MGP, even if you fuck it up. He got like a 47, 10k MGP. And you do good, you get more.
Are you seriously doing this, Hap?
No, I got my Corker. I'm good. I'm fucking good, dude. They went out of the way to label every individual item in the game like summer or Eastern or red. Like, he's going to be like, bring me something red. And I'm going to be like, I'm out. That's it. Can't do it. Please don't undergo evaluation. That you'll... items you're wearing will be bound to your character, too. So you can't even just buy something to do it and then sell them back. That's it. You're committed. You are committed. I will only check your fashion up to 4 times, also, during the week. But there's no correct answer, or it won't be disclosed anywhere, except on Reddit, where everyone will do it.
Yep.
It says players will be able to exchange that information. So, before YouTube series where somebody tells you every week what the fucking, like, winning combination is. That would be rough. Or at least something that gets you over 80 points. Like, they'll try 4 times, and if they get it that week, they'll be like, this gave me over 80 points. And then, As for content in which you coordinate NPCs, fashion is scheduled to be implemented in the next installment of custom deliveries. This is where you're going to customize like a Nago. You're going to play dress up with the NPCs, Sly. What? Hey, Wondrous Tale's getting an update. They're planning to update it by adding a new point system where players will earn points when they successfully complete a line and can use those points to exchange for items. So even if you get shitty results week after week, at least you're saving up for something.
That I can take.
That I can take. This is fine. This is 100% okay.
Everything else, it's just...
Hey, I'll take it. Listen, if it's free materia and shit, I'll save up points for 5-slot materia. All right, or 5-slot armor with the materia. All right. Yeah. They also showed off the winners of the furnishing design contest. They showed off a bed. They showed off a bunch of Eastern furnishings that weren't even winners. Like you can have an Ananta in your house now as one of the NPCs. They showed a mannequin in the back. They showed off the bomb stove, which was the NA winner. A bathtub, which was a Japanese winner. A lamp, which was also a Japanese winner. And then hedges outside where you can like spell shit with the hedges, which is pretty cool.
Or make a
maze.
Little mini maze, yeah.
Make a maze that you could just walk right through, and who gives a shit. But anyway, it'd be fun. It'd still be fun to see one of those out in front of a house. So congratulations to the winners. You guys actually had some really good housing items. Was not a joke. Crystal Tower Training Grounds. Only map. We talked about that. They showed off the wall placements being raised. And the crest of the PvP teams will be reflected on the field map. So if you're doing ranked matches, team ranked matches with the new system, your crest will appear on the map itself. And they're going to be using that map for the official tournament.
Do you think the older base maps get the same treatment with the raising of the partitions and everything?
Say that again.
Like they're like, you know how they're raising the partitions that, you know, you get a different set every time in Crystal Tower, so you won't get the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think they get, like, the old maps get the same treatment?
I think they have to. I think you can't only have one map. Come on. That's boring. Even if it has 4 different layouts, you gotta have... I mean, and keep in mind, this is only for the ranked matches. On the unranked matches, it still has the other maps. It's just, that's such a waste of the old maps. I hope they do rework them.
Yeah.
Preseason for adjustments is going to be 4.2. There's going to be adjustments to lots of PvP actions. And they're currently working on rules for the official tournament. The official, not a tournament, the tournament. We esports boys. We esports. Like the PvP teams challenge each other with the right to participate in official tournaments. Plural. And please leave feedback about the preseason. Glamour Dresser, they just did a live demonstration. We talked about it in excruciating detail from the last live letter. There's nothing really new here except for a reminder that you can use the Calamity Salvager. Don't forget that the Calamity Salvager exists. They showed updates to the armoire, more items, more categories in it. Reminded you the armoire can be used for the Glamour Dresser, which is no longer called a commode, a toilet. It's called a dresser now.
Thank God.
You have to go into the dresser to put the item inside. Once the item's in, you can't use it anymore. It's not a usable item. You can't equip it for as armor or anything. But you can always take it out and make it an item again. So it acts as storage, pretty much. It gets the item out of your inventory. There's 200 armor inventory that for just stuff you want to glam. So then you get 10 ensembles, which you can change the sets with. You can use macros to change the armor, and as long as you're out of combat, you can change your armor. City States, Gold Saucer, In Rooms, Ivory Chapel. You can change while getting married, apparently. You can also apply the dyes. We knew all this. In the future, they're going to allow glamour ensembles for your squadron. For the fucking squadrons no one's using, because Engage fame got removed. We're getting 3 new dungeons for that in 4.2. I just remembered that.
Hooray.
Yeah. For Fashion Report, the equipment you have on at the time will be checked. So it can check based on your glamour you have applied. All right, so that's that. That's it. And then, tackle boxes. I'm sorry, Chocobo Saddlebags is up next.
Happy eat a buffet of dicks.
A whole buffet. How much is that buffet?
A buffet of
like
dicks.
Is it like a buffet at the Rio? Because we're going there in November. So like I'm trying to get a price range here. Is there like a good variety of dicks? Like is there buffalo dick? Is there spotted dick? I mean,
It's not it's not a tackle box. It's not a tackle box. It's not what I want.
Is it all you can eat? Because it's, I mean,
Chocobo saddlebags will be added.
I thought you were going to say chocobo dicks. We're on the menu.
Still going. Oh my god.
You started it. But anyway, so 70 inventory slots can be used anywhere outside of instances, pretty much. You can even use it when your retainers are open, and you don't have to call your companion out to use it. On top of that, they changed the way the inventory looks. Instead of being the tabs with like the one tab at the end that's half completed, it's just two tabs of 70 each. So looks a lot nicer. Subaquatic voyages are going to exist. Rival Wings is getting adjustments. And then there's going to be in 4.3 more Disciple of Hand or land gear, new exchangeable items, but there won't be any gear update for those currently exchanged with or currently using melded Alamegan gear. And that covers everything in the official translation. Sly?
Yes.
I don't know if there was anything other than I'm surprised they didn't bring all this stuff up here, like all the events they're doing, like they're selling chocolate in the Eorzea Cafe, and Valentine's Day or Valentine's or Towns Day is coming up, and they're hiring community manager for Division 5 or community planner. Sculpture. They have the ice sculpture at the Sapporo Snow Festival. The next Fate/Live letter is on February 10th, which I already knew from the last one. Nothing all too important. But yeah, overall, decent live letter. Second part dragged on a little too long, but some good stuff, especially knowing that Eureka is coming in 4.25. Oh, you know what my favorite one was? Yoshida has like a biography coming out called Yoshida Uncensored.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I don't.
Can we get a translation of that, please?
It's 260 pages, Sly.
I don't care. Get someone up there, please.
Get your ass to work, Koji.
Please.
Translate it. That's what I'm talking about. Gummy dicks are delicious, comments. Somebody bought me gummy dicks once. They're actually really good. Sly, you ever had gummy dicks? I've got gummy bears.
I'm mad you had those right on hand, too. What the hell? I have gummy bears.
There's no dicks in here. These bears might have dicks. I don't know. They got like the 6 stubs for the ears, hands, and feet, but that's about it. Yeah, and then there's the like amusement park in Japan, and just there's stuff. There's stuff.
Usual stuff that you see at the end of every live letter.
Usual stuff. Preliminary patch notes next Friday. Confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Full patch notes that Monday when the servers go down. There will be a patch note reading. Yeah, like he usually does. So it's just a bunch of little things. I am still mostly just gonna be trying to get through Savage of Byakko, get some videos out, and then do weekly stuff, and then get back on Monster Hunter World, Dissidia, what's it called? Secret of Mana.
4 days. Yeah. 4 days. You got 4 fucking days.
4 days, dude. You got to burn through. Lost Sphere is this Tuesday also. I plan to burn through that before. I plan to finish it before Monster Hunter World comes out. And
good luck.
23, 24, 25. That's what I got. So
good luck.
I will do it. Yeah. And we got the 24-hour maintenance, and then we are there. We are at 4.2. Ladies and gentlemen,
yep.
You can go do those extra 3 dungeons with your squadron, unlock some new stuff, because they said there'd be new stuff through there. You can go get your fashion checked. You can go whatever adjustments they're making to the canals that they said they were making. You got fucking buff-ass Byakko over there, ready to fucking show you his gains. You got the dungeons with the Hell's Lid and the Fractal Continuum hard mode, where we saw Atma Weapon from Final Fantasy VI present as one of the bosses, and you got the normal mode and the savage mode and the tombstone farm and the new hairstyles and the Crystal Tower training grounds and the glamour dressers and subaquatic voyages and the rival wings adjustments and the samurais hating themselves still and no more elemental property. You could try buy a house a week after that. You're probably not going to get it, but because free company thing going on right there. If you're good with music, you got all that shit going on. House of the Dead's been soloed now. Go fucking solo it yourself. Come on. What are you waiting for? And have fun. Things. There you go. But on that note, I think we can wrap up the show.
Yeah.
I think we can. Next week, I'm going to aim for 4 horsemen or 3 horsemen if this motherfucker here is out cold. Don't know yet.
I'll try not to be.
We don't know yet. I will prepare something in case this gentleman is incapacitated. We'll put it that way. If the hunter has become the hunted, then we'll have a Slyless show for the second time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those who don't know who the first time was, it was when we did the couples episode. And Sly and I were both not on it. We had all the couples talk the whole time. So, yeah. I'm excited. Buffako.
I am too.
I can't wait for Buffako. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's main scenario quest. And Hildebrand wasn't in the trailer, by the way. If he was, I didn't see him.
He was in the wasn't he in the stuff like in the previous live letter when they summed up the previous live letter? That was it. Like he wasn't in the trailer or anything, but
or was he? Yeah, I mean, yeah, they just said he was moving to 4.25.
Yeah,
I can't wait, dude. If Hildebrand doesn't happen at 4.25, Eureka does, I'm gonna be like smiling.
Or the opposite.
Or Hildebrand's in Eureka somehow.
So that's the show, everyone.
He'll be delayed till 4.3, guys. That's it. Confirmed. They're aiming for a 4.25 release date. Calling it. It's what they were doing. They're aiming for it. Yeah, so that is the show, everyone. So, after I stretch, you'll say goodbye, Sly. I'll say goodbye, and then I'll read sponsors. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right, then, Sly, why don't you tell them where they can find you at, good sir?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox. You can find me on Twitter at Slythefox, on Instagram at Slyakagreyfox07, youtube.com/thevelvetroom, facebook.com/Slyakagreyfox, all the things. Yeah. Monster Hunter next week. Nergigante's out right now. Go kill it. It's not as bad as you think. I re-uploaded the video too.
I told him, I was like, your video just
at the end it got cut off, and yeah.
At the end of his Nergigante video, it was like, all right, guys, he's going to sleep. All right, he's going to sleep. Just prepare the traps. Don't wake him up. All right, we got
done.
Video.
It was like the ending of The Sopranos.
Yeah, pretty much. It's exactly like the ending. Yeah, exactly.
So, Happy, where can they find you?
You can find
Here's a hint. Everywhere.
That's not true. We've already been over this. You cannot find me on Grindr. That immediately disqualifies me from everywhere.
Okay.
You can find me, Mr. Every1227, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Just Google it. You'll find some stuff. Probably. Maybe. I got my ass kicked into the City tournament this week, but it was fun.
You got to the semis.
There's only started in the quarters.
I'm trying to paint this in a good picture, Happy. You're not helping.
Listen, we were Team Excalibur. We were far from the strongest of teams. That was our motto. We are far from the strongest of teams.
I'm trying to help out.
Yeah, well, there's no helping. There's no helping natural born failure. You can't help that. That's it. All right. So to wrap up the show, we just want to thank our sponsors. A few months ago started hashtag demonetized counter thing with Patreon to counter it because we talk about dicks and eating a buffet of dicks and statues of dicks and yelling about samurais and saying bad words. So if you're an adult with your child,
blood,
you are actually a bad parent right now for being here because there was a mature warning. And so you shouldn't. That's it. You shouldn't be doing it. And they're gonna grow up horribly angsty and like they're gonna be like a 6-year-old version of Shadow the Hedgehog, just hating everything. It's gonna be awful.
Even hedgehogs today
because I got the music stuck in my head. There you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. We have to thank our sponsors. We have our standard sponsors and our elite sponsors. But there's one thing at the end that I'll say after that. So our standard sponsors, Skia Symphonia from Ragnarok. They are a new one. Thank you. Rylanator, Westos, Rah Xephon, Eadric Redsteele and Exodus, Lexxie Valentine, Mantaru the Rivivus Free Company on Zodiark, Marshtechy, Sour Creams and Tribes from Jenova, Ellisan Le'ore, Rynoet Chikara, Goetia, Valefar, Hersh, Fersh, Faerie, Serren from Zodiark, and Phoenix Down Free Company on Goblin. For our elite sponsors, we have Kira Ryoshi and the Reckless Tea Party on Cactar with Ignis Fairgun from the Diablo server, Valestra of Fanfrit, Noct Cordis from Excalibur, Corvos Moonscar, Nakaniame of Balmung, Ear in the Avon Block for Company on Zodiark, Johnua Odin of Tonberry, Private Mikey, Aqua Sacrifice, Obai Del Shamsi, Spike, Rudy Rudiger, Nani Kurasame, Kucha Cross of the... Oh, wait, no, wait. That's something that we gotta adjust, because they are something else now. That name is something else now. Ahmed, Kurenai Oni, Abdullah, Tin Colossus, Killer Hackman, Raul Jr., Darklight 201, the Arthur Mill Gaming Bishop, and Killtastic Jones. Let me make sure there were no names that were missing from one list. I see a Kat Kazuma that was missing from that list. And also the Serenity Free Company on Ultros were not properly updated on my State of the Realm shout out, but I made sure to double check it. So I got you guys. You guys got your shout out, so thank you. And we also have somebody new, somebody who stood above the rest and fought for the realm of monetization, fought against the warriors of demonetization. He is the patron of light.
Ooh,
you like my delivery? Was it
yeah
okay? Was it good?
That was good.
Was it heavy?
Good. I give it a solid 8. Give it a solid 8. You did a good job. You did your thing.
All right. I'm surprised you gave me and the trailer a fucking 8, and that's quite generous of you.
I gave the trailer a 9.
I'm sorry. That's right. I gave the live letter an 8. That's right.
Yeah.
So still impressive. Patron of Light, above and beyond in terms of support over on the Patreon. So Kucha Cross, the name I misread as a premium because I still had you on this. Kucha Cross from the Jenova server. You're awesome. Or wait, what's your thing? Say it. What's the thing you haven't said it in a while? Awesome sauce and amazeballs?
Yes, it is.
That's your thing. You say it.
Your awesome sauce and amazeballs, and of course,
hey. That's what it is, isn't it?
The old thing. What you say in every intro.
Hey.
You my boy, Blue.
You my boy, Blue. I never say awesome sauce and amazeballs, so I don't put it together. I'm just going.
Failed.
I'm just going with that. I don't know. Sly, I don't remember the last time I heard you say awesome sauce and
amazeballs. Hey.
I was like, what is it? What does it say on his stream?
What
does it say on his stream? All I know is hey. That's all I know. That's the one. And hey guys, Mr. Happy, and like cuts off slightly at the end, like your Nergigante video. There you go.
Yep.
It's fixed now, maybe.
It is.
All right, good. So thank you for our sponsors. It's going to be a very short post show because I have raid in 9 minutes.
Right.
Yay, as Ninja! It's a Baba Cocker opener. Great. All right. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you next week. He maybe not, but I will, at least, for the patch notes overview. So be there or be a four-sided shape. And the show's on Friday again next week. Don't forget. We'll see you guys then. Until then, bye-bye.
See you next week.